Welcome back to another edition of Drop the Mitts Hockey Podcast. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Hobie Baker nominee, and more importantly, national champion Jack Devine. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Super happy to have you on. It's an honor to have you here. Man, again, first off, I want to congratulate you on the national championship. That was a hell of a game. You guys took down a hell of a team. Um, Coming off the unbelievable season, Hobie Baker nominee. Um, Man, talk to us about how crazy it's been these past couple weeks, kind of riding that high.
Yeah. Thank you. First off, thank you and thanks for having me. Um, yeah, it's been pretty special the last couple weeks. Being able to celebrate with my teammates, my family, some alumni. It's been a lot of fun. We know how special it was to go get a 10th national championship and what it meant to the program and the city. So, um, for us, it's been enjoying the moment and then starting to look towards next season.
Yeah, man, you bring up next season. You made the announcement a couple weeks ago that you were going to be returning to for your senior season. Um, what went into that decision? And looking at the teams, you guys lost a couple key pieces, right? Rizzo decided to sign with Philly, and a couple other guys as well. For one, what went into that decision to return for your senior season? And do you think that the Pioneers have a legitimate chance next year to go back to back?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question. I think one thing was we lost four really key guys. Some of my best friends on the team, Tristan Burrows, you said Massimo, Sean Barons, and Shai Buram. They're tremendous players, and they played big roles in our national championship team this year. So there'll definitely be some missing pieces for next year. I think for myself, it was just figuring out what was best for myself and how to develop for myself, both as a player and a person. And I thought with meeting with the coaches, meeting with my family, meeting with teammates, I thought this was the best decision to stay, and I'm very excited about it. I think moving forward, looking on the next season, we definitely do have a lot of guys returning. I don't think we're gonna have as many freshmen as we did this year. We had 11. We got a couple transfers coming in, so
Yeah.
I think it's kind of doing a little similar routine to what we did last year, where we get the guys in the summer, the freshmen, maybe the transfers come in, and we just start to gel as a team in training camp. And we know it's going to be a long year next year as well as it was this year. But as long as we have those ups and downs and continue to improve, I think by the time you get to April, if you're really peaking at that moment, you always got a chance to go out there and win a national championship.
Yeah, you mentioned it's almost like a retool, right? You mentioned all the freshmen that you guys had. Like listen, like what would you say is the biggest, like piece of success? Like what makes you guys have that ability to, get so close?
Yeah.
Because again, you mentioned you had 11 freshmen, which is absolutely wild. And for you guys to be as good as you are, like, what is it with the leadership? Is it a coaching thing?
Yeah.
Kind of what goes into that ability to gel so well?
Yeah, I think it's the culture here at the University of Denver. I think it's everything. You got the administrators, the AD's done a really good job. Josh Burlow. Our coaches are unbelievable with David Carl, Tavis, and Dallas Ferguson. They were unbelievable. And then I think as players, we really come together as a group. We play for one another, and we understand that it's not one player or one guy trying to get an award. It's at the end of the year, it's winning a national championship together. And I think when you have guys bought in and really focus on winning, I think that helps guys like the freshmen jump on board and understand what the culture is here.
Yeah, and you bring up a guy like, Dave Carl, who is super, super well respected throughout the entire hockey community.
Uh-huh.
He's being talked about potentially getting NHL jobs somewhere
Yeah,
down the road. You've obviously had the opportunity to play for him for a few seasons. What's it been like playing for Coach Carl?
yeah.
And what about Coach Carl specifically just makes him such a great coach, and that makes, players like you want to play for him?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's an unbelievable coach. I think you've seen with the success, 2 national championships, 4 or
Yeah.
5 chosen fours. I mean, you got the USA jersey behind you.
Yep.
World junior gold medal. He's a winner, and um every day he's focused on getting better, and he's really dialed into the details. I think for a guy like me coming in here, it was how can I improve and develop, and I think I've gotten better every year, and that's a testament to our coaching staff, and the trainers we have here. So honestly, with Coach Carl, he just he's just a tremendous coach and super smart, and he's so young already.
Right. That's the craziest part, man. It's
Yeah,
that the dude's in his mid-30s, which is
yeah,
insane to think about, and he's incredibly successful already.
yeah.
Crazy.
I think he's only 34, and he's accomplished that much already. It's pretty awesome to see him grow and to see his development. Honestly, uh,
Yeah.
in the 3 years he's coached me.
Yeah, and man, to kind of caveat off that, it's it's pretty cool to see you guys. Obviously, you won your 10th national
Yeah.
championship last, first one in a couple years. But
Mhm.
I want to go back to the Natty because it was one of the most epic games I've watched, and since I
Yeah,
started covering college hockey. Um, Man, your goalie Matt Davis is one of a kind. I mean, that dude. And even just after the game, just how genuine of a human being he was, right? The emotion that he had after that win. What kind of guy is Maddie? And like again, for the people that we really just started learning about him, right?
yeah,
When come national championship time, he's making ridiculous saves. Um, what kind of guy is Maddie on the ice and off the
yeah,
ice?
yeah. He's a great guy. I mean, I always say this that his success, no one else deserves it more than him. He sat behind Magnus Krona for 2 years, stayed
Yep.
patient. And when his time came, he ran with it. Even this year, he got injured
Yeah.
majority of the start. So I think he deserves it. He's an unbelievable guy. He's a guy you can really depend on and great guy in the locker room. And I think on the ice, you know what you're gonna get from him. He's always gonna give 100%. And I think for our team, we were really relaxed with him behind us, and
Mhm.
we know how much preparation and hard work he had put in the last 3 years, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think he was ready to shine. And like I mentioned, he's an unbelievable man, comes from a great family, and I'm just so proud of what he's done and couldn't happen to a better dude.
Man, and again, just to bring up like at the end when they were asking and all you could see just the emotion in
Yeah,
his face and
yeah,
just such a likable person.
yeah,
And man, that save on Ryan Leonard. I mean, that was one of the best saves I've ever seen in honestly in my entire life.
yeah. That was incredible. I mean, even at the start, he got a big save on Will Smith. I think 5 minutes in. Even the game before, Celebrini got a breakaway like a minute in. I think he was always dialed from the first minute, and I mean that save was you heard the call. This man's
Oh my
insane.
god, dude.
It's pretty hilarious, but it was an unbelievable save and
Yeah.
probably the best save I've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%. And kind of talking about that game too, like obviously we just talked about Coach Carl.
Yeah.
What would you say was the biggest, success that you guys had in stopping those guys? You mentioned guys like Cutter Gauthier, Lenny, Will Smith, and you guys were able to shut them down. And I think is that would you say that's a testament of just your style of play and the systems that Coach Carl has run all season?
Yeah, I think for us, we obviously knew how extremely talented they were as a team. Up and down their lineup, they had great guys on their forward group with, as you mentioned, all three of those guys. Perot also,
Yeah, bro, I forgot
always
about
really skilled. They even had great guys on the back end, Chuck. Um, so then we knew Fowler was unbelievable. So I think going in, we knew they were a good team, but I think we had beaten them earlier in the year, and we beat them in their home rink in Conti Forum. So I think we had a lot
it.
of momentum and confidence going into that game. Like we knew we were a little bit of underdogs, but we never felt like that either game, and we knew how good of a team we were. And I think, kind of as you said, like just sticking to our game, we didn't try to do anything too differently. We knew how good of a team we were, and we deserved to be in that game. So I think it's like we went out there and executed our game plan
Mhm.
perfectly, and at the end of the day, we won 2-0. So yeah, I think it was just playing our game and not trying to do anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, another I mean, I was gonna bring up too with the post-game speech with Matt. Another epic post-game speech, Zeev Buyam. I mean, man, I was laughing so hard live on TV. And him and you could tell as soon as he said it, his brother just was like, fuck, dude. Like, and man, what is it like having those two guys? They just seem like, such characters and such good guys. Like, do they ever battle it out in the locker room, like chirp each other a lot?
I don't know if they chirp each other too much. I think they definitely shy. The big brother always got the little brother's back. It's kind
Yeah,
of funny, but it's pretty special to see something like that. Two brothers on a national championship team and
insane.
how big of a role they played. I mean, Shy was unbelievable, and Z for his age, that Spinorama pass in the national championship game was one of the best passes I've seen. So it was pretty cool to have him on our team. We're definitely going to miss Shy next year, but I'm excited to see Zeev's game grow. And
Mhm.
only so young, so just grow as both a person and a player because he's got a really, really bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, he played unbelievable this season. So fun to watch.
Yeah,
But man, you yourself, unbelievable season. I mean, um, in just looking at your stats, right, from the past 3 years, you've
yeah,
significantly improved each year, which is
mhm,
obviously what you want to do as a player.
yeah,
But this season, man, 44 games, 27 goals, 22 assists, 56 points.
yeah.
What would you say was the biggest contributing factor to having such a like unreal season? I know you and Massimo have such good chemistry. But what would you say was other contributing factors into your success this season?
Yeah, I think at the end of my sophomore year, I really built some momentum for myself and kind of established myself where, hey, I can go out here, I can play, I can be a big difference maker. And going into that last summer, it was how can I get bigger? How can I get stronger? How can I keep improving areas of my game? And I thought I had a really good summer with our trainer Matt Shaw here, and some of my personal development, shooting pucks, just getting any extra time I can. So I thought heading into training camp, I was in a really good spot. And fortunately, I was able to play with a really good player like Massimo, who's got tremendous hockey sense and
Yeah.
one of the best passers I've ever played with. So I think for me, it was building chemistry off the start. And then right at game one, we hit the ground running and we're able to execute right away. So I think a testament to my teammates who set me up and put me in the right position. And as you can see with how talented and roster you were, I was just able to execute in some good moments. And at the end of the year, we were able to come together as a team and win the national championship.
Yeah, and it just seems that you and Massimo just have such a good relationship. I had him on the podcast. It was like
Mhm. Yeah,
mid-season, like right before he got hurt.
yeah,
And same thing, man. Like he had such high praise for you and just nothing
yeah,
but good things to say. And he just seems like you guys kind of feed off each other and have that great chemistry.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it helps when with your line mates when you have a good relationship off the ice and you're
100%.
friends and care about each other because that's only gonna correlate on the ice. And
Yeah.
I think for us, it was building that chemistry and drills and relying on each other and knowing where each other are. So when you get into games, it's just a lot easier.
Yeah, 100%. And even earlier in your career before Denver, you played in the National Development Program.
Yeah.
And you're seeing some of the kids that are coming out of there now, even when you were there as well.
Mhm.
Um, you know, what what did that program do for your development?
Yeah.
And again, like what do you kind of owe that program? A lot you're seeing tons of different kids from all over the place kind of choose the National Development Program. What's so special about that program?
Yeah, it's a tremendous place, and it's a place where I owe a lot of my development to. For the ages like your 16, 17 year, like when you're 16, 17 years old, it's the best place to develop. You're not going to get that level of training, that level of coaching, that much ice time.
Right.
It's tremendous. You come in. I came there as a 15-year-old, and I grew so much until I was 17 and got out of there. They do such a good job helping kids with schooling and working out. I mean, we're lifting 2 to 3 times a week, every week. And I think kind of similar to here, you kind of gel as a group and you work
Yeah.
towards that collective goal of winning a gold medal. And I mean, even now, I watched that game. I want to say it was either yesterday on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough to watch. I mean, they were right there, but there's a lot of pride that goes into being there, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty special feeling when every day you're going to the rink and wearing that USA jersey.
Yeah, man, and like I said, all the talented kids that come out of there, they're becoming better and better every year, it
Yeah,
seems. 2022, man, you were the 221st pick,
yeah,
7th round, taken by the Florida Panthers, who coincidentally are playing the Boston Bruins right now.
yeah.
Man, take us through what you remember that day. Um, your feeling going into the draft, or did you have any bizarre draft questions? And then was it kind of Florida all the way that you kind of had a good feeling about, or were there some other teams that you kind of felt good about?
Um, I think I'll first start off with any bizarre questions. I don't remember any too much. I think one that was kind of I was at the NHL Combine, so one that was kind of
Yeah,
reassuring there was just like if you were an animal, which one would you be and why? That
yeah.
was what a couple guys got. I think that was probably the weirdest one I got. Honestly, that was a couple years ago, so I don't really remember.
What kind of animal are you on the ice?
I don't even remember what I said to be honest. I think a couple of people just said like I'm a lion because I'm always hungry, something like that. Just try to relate it as much as
Yeah.
you can to hockey and life.
Dude, the funniest one, man, I had Zach Benson on, like, pretty early, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, man, like, I panicked and I said I was a golden retriever," and I was like, "That's hilarious, dude." Like, I
Yeah.
don't even know what I don't even know how I'd react.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like you think you prepare enough and then they hit you with a curveball. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's pretty funny. Um,
Uh,
yeah, so I think the questions I don't really remember because it was 2 to 3 years ago now, so it's not as bright. But I think that was one where it kind of caught me off guard. I had to take a second to be like, well, what's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, and I think draft day was pretty special for me. I was in Montreal with my family and my two sisters, and I think just when I heard my name, no matter what pick it was, I was excited and honored to be drafted by an organization like Florida. Just going down there, meeting all the staff was really cool and special, and that's something you dream of as a kid.
yeah, dude, 100%, and I should have asked this earlier when we were talking about, UD.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're from Illinois,
yeah,
Glencoe. I hope I'm saying that right.
yeah,
Um, Man, what led to the decision to go to Denver? Like, were there other schools that you were, like, heavily involved with? And then, like, what was it about Denver? You had mentioned the culture, the
yeah.
administration, the coaches, but, like, what about the school itself makes it so special?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly a while ago, and I'm my senior year now. I think I,
Yeah,
I was committed before I even started playing for the development team. So it was
yeah,
a long time ago. But one thing I really remember was just the coaching staff, and I'm so fortunate because I made the right decision when I was pretty young. But just I really felt they were personable, and I really felt like they had the best interest in mind for me. I felt like our conversation was honest when I was at that age. Like, they could have bullshitted a little bit or given me lies,
yeah,
but they told it straight up, and I could really tell they were genuine and they wanted what's best for me and my development. And so that was really what kinda led me here because I could tell how awesome the coaching staff was, and I was actually at the 2017 national championship game when they beat Duluth, and
another epic game,
yeah, it was unbelievable game, and I mean, how could you not fall in love with the team who won
right?
the national championship right in front of your eyes? So, also the winning culture, I saw that, I was like, "Wow, this is incredible. How can I not wanna go here and try to win one of my own?" And a couple years later, I've got 2 of them, so it's
Right.
pretty surreal, and it's kind of been a full circle moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it looks like you made the right call there.
Yeah,
Um, this past off season, you got to attend the Florida Panthers development camp.
yeah,
A lot of the guys that I've talked to from different organizations say that that week is huge for their development.
yeah.
Just especially not only on the ice but off the ice stuff as well. What was your biggest takeaway from that week? Because again, it's not just on ice stuff. It's not just on ice drills. You're also doing stuff with nutrition. Meeting the staff. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from that week?
Yeah, I think it's really quick. So each day you're just trying to get as much information as you can, and realistically, you're only going to take one or two takeaways from each day. I think as you
Right.
mentioned, the first big thing is just meeting everyone. You're meeting somebody, the other prospects. You're meeting the coaches. You're meeting the scouts. I think that's really big, and you kind of get to build that initial relationship. And I've met a couple of good guys at training camp where I even stay in touch with right now that play in the OHL or play overseas. So it's pretty cool that you get to build these relationships, even though it's quick. Hopefully, these are your teammates in the future, and you get to know them really well. I would say just on ice, it's you're able to do a couple of drills and take some key things away. Like I think for us, one thing they stressed was puck protection.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of my game, big part of her game at University of Denver. So I think just a little takeaways I could do with that. And then fortunately, they have some high quality trainers there. So just
Yeah.
you kind of do your testing and they see what you can improve on a little bit. And you take that with you. You talk to, like, I would go talk to then my trainer at the university here and see what he thinks and then kind of adjust my program a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Again, you guys are in the off season now.
Mm,
Um, and even you coming off the season that you had, how successful you are, pure goal scorer.
yeah.
What are some areas of your game that like you really kind of want to focus on going into your senior season?
Yeah, like I understand I'm at a big point in my career. I'm 20 right now and I'm going to be 21 in 6 months. I think for me it's a big opportunity for me to really grow into my body and put on 5 to 10 pounds. Just get stronger and I think with that that allows me to it allows me to get stronger and improve my skating a little bit. I think for one thing is I've really gotten some good top end speed over the last couple years and
Yeah.
continue to develop that way. But I think my first couple strides can continue to improve, and I think if I do that, I can build more time and space for myself.
Yeah.
So that's be something to do. And I think you can always get better. I think hockey sense and my passing ability is something I think is one of my best qualities. So I can continue to work on that in the offseason, continue to work on my shot. There's not one necessarily area, but I think as long as you keep tweaking and getting better at those areas, I'll have success again next
Yeah,
season.
well, that's well said, man. Again, I mentioned you guys are in the off season. What kind of things you do in the off season? You a golf guy? Yeah. What kind of things you do in the off season?
Can you
Okay.
say that again? It's kind of just like I
Oh, can
couldn't
you
really hear. Sorry
can
about
you hear
that.
me? Okay. Did I lose you?
Yeah, I was just like a little shaky. The
Oh,
Can you hear
can you
me?
hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can hear me, all right?
Yeah, I'm good now. I
All
just
right,
couldn't hear
cool.
the question.
So you're in the off season.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you enjoy doing in the off season? Are you a golf guy? What kind of things are you enjoying with your time off?
Yeah, for sure. I think right now we're just lifting a lot and I'm still in school for a couple weeks, so that takes a lot of your time up with classes. But once I'm out of classes, definitely golfing. I like golfing. When I'm back home in Chicago, I live right by the lake, so jump in there with some buddies from back home. But while I'm here in school, it's definitely lifting, skating a bit, and then just hanging out with the guys. It's a lot
Yeah,
of time in season. You're at the rink spending time with them, so it's nice to get away and do some fun things like them. Like we'll go to Rockies games around here. We went to the Avs game, got celebrated there. So it's kind of
yeah,
hard with how expensive the tickets are right now.
yeah.
But definitely Rockies games. There's some fun things to do around here,
Yeah,
which we're pretty
it's a
fortunate
beautiful
about.
area too, man. I remember traveling to
Yeah,
the academy, the Air
yeah,
Force Academy. It's such a beautiful area.
mhm, yeah,
Man, last thing, man. I was reading your player profile
yeah,
on the Denver website, and it says you're a
yeah,
big Office guy. Pretty recently,
yeah.
man, I've been getting into it with people on Twitter saying that Big Bang Theory is better than The Office, which I think is absolutely nauseating. Man, who's your favorite character on The Office? I gotta know.
My favorite character on The Office is probably Kevin. I love Kevin. I think he's
Bingo,
hilarious.
bingo.
I love how they make him kind of a genius on the side. Like if you see some of like the extended episodes,
Yeah,
he's like I think one of them was like he can do like can't do a normal math equation, but you put pies in and he can do any math
yeah,
equation.
dude.
Yeah, so I like Kevin, and I like obviously Jim and Dwight when they're doing the prank stuff like that. I don't think it's the most necessarily exciting TV show, but it's something you can always put on. I think I've watched it 4 or 5 times. It
Oh,
always keeps you coming back for more.
yeah, man. I had posted something on The Office. I can't even remember what it was. It was a clip or something. Man, I had people coming at me being like, "Shitty show." Like,
Yeah,
watch Big Bang Theory. I'm like, man, I can't watch Big Bang Theory without
yeah, yeah,
no. But yeah, Kevin's a beauty, and I
yeah,
think it's so funny just seeing him like do interviews and stuff like
yeah,
outside of like The Office, like
yeah,
how normal he is.
yeah,
Um, but listen, man, yeah, we're coming up on almost 23 minutes here. I
yeah,
can't thank you enough for
yeah, of
taking the
course.
time.
Yeah, I got
Um,
a question for you.
yeah, brother.
What's your flag there in the background? Did you serve?
This one.
Yeah, yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I actually was in the Air Force
Oh, good for you, man.
from 2014 to
Yeah,
2021. I got medically retired.
yeah,
And that's how I kind of started doing this whole thing. I
yeah.
kind of was down in the dumps and
Mhm.
started watching hockey again. I was a big, played hockey growing up all
Yeah,
through high school, year of
yeah,
junior, and yeah, kind of that's why I do this. I love talking to you guys, and you guys make this, literally just hearing your guys' stories are
yeah.
makes it worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I appreciate your service. I know how much the troops mean for our country and how much they allow our freedom. So I appreciate you for your service. That's awesome.
Jack, I appreciate that, man. That, again, you're such a stand-up kid, hell of a leader, hell of a player on the ice, but even better person off the ice. And honestly, man, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your
Yeah, of
schedule. I,
course.
I understand how busy you are. So,
Yeah,
again, congrats on the natty, my friend.
thank you.
And I can't wait to see what you do next year.
Yeah, appreciate it. Good luck to you too in the future. Appreciate it, and hopefully maybe we'll see you around after next season.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
Yep. See you, Chris.
Take care. What a beauty, man. Jack Devine, University of Denver. Wow. I've never, I can truly say in 41 episodes, we've had some really, really great people, but even just before this episode, from what I've heard, just salt of the earth, dude. Incredible human being. And, not only a great player on the ice, but an even better person off the ice. And that, that right there was just a clear indication on what kind of person Jack is. Um, we've got a decent amount to get to as we roll through this episode. Obviously, kind of weird the way that this worked out. It is Monday. Um, doing the interview. I'm going to be adding another piece to the episode here on Wednesday. But again, just to touch on, the past week or so, Game 7 was absolutely epic. One of the best games I've ever been to. Just the atmosphere, everything. Um, just crazy ending to that game. With Pasta scoring, my voice was shot. Um, and again, the Bruins move on to play the Florida Panthers, which they are in play right now. Um, and again, this series is going to be another battle. Um, Looks like when I'm stopping recording right now, it's 9 o'clock, still a 0-0 hockey game. And like I said, stay tuned for the rest of this episode. It'll be recorded on Wednesday. So we will have, the rest of this game 1, and then a breakdown of the other games, which I'm really excited about. We've had some incredible matchups, most notably to the Dallas Stars Vegas game last night. I mean, Dallas moves on. They're my Stanley Cup pick. They have been my Stanley Cup pick for the past couple months now. And Dallas pulls it out. Wyatt Johnston still playing unbelievable hockey as a young buck, 20 years old. And again, he is just showing that he belongs on that top line. With him, Jamie Benn and another young buck who's an absolute stud, friend of the pod, Logan Stankoven. These kids are just unbelievable, and they're getting good play from, their defense, and most also Jake Ottinger is standing on his head. He's been great for them. They're going to have a tough series ahead with Colorado. I think it's going to be another bloodbath. Both teams incredibly skilled, but they also have that kind of sandpaper game. They're not afraid to muck it up. Both teams have incredible decors. I mean, just listing a few, Colorado, two guys that come to mind, Cale Makar and Miro Heiskanen, who probably are going to be considered two of the top defensemen in the league, for years to come. Going to be a great series. I mentioned that we'll have the breakdown of all the games on Wednesday before we drop this on Thursday. Some other news, some really, really good news here. Actually broke a little while ago. Ducks goaltending coach cancer-free 1 year after diagnosis. Anaheim Ducks goaltending coach Sudarshan Mahara. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably completely butchering it like a moron, but declared cancer-free. Was diagnosed a year ago with pancreatic cancer. And again, this dude fought and fought and fought and fought, and he is now cancer-free. The team, in a quote here on ESPN from the Associated Press, the team said that Mahara faced low odds of survival. Faced low odds of survival, but persevered through 11 rounds of chemotherapy and major surgery to remove his gallbladder and parts of his pancreas, small intestine, and stomach. I mean, at 59 years old, this dude went through that and was able to come out on the other side, which is incredible news. Something that'll warm your heart and just great news throughout the hockey community. Some other notes, some big news today. Winnipeg Jets lose their head coach, Rick Bowness, who has decided to retire after 38 seasons in the NHL. Bones, just an incredible coach. super successful coach, 69 years old. I mean, caps off, stick taps for Rick Bonus. Um, Again, just the way that Winnipeg went out, I think it was a real disappointment for them. And just a quote from Bones. As I was standing there and looking around, it dawned on me. Coaches have always told me, I've talked to the older coaches older than me. They've always said, you'll know when it's time. When I was looking around and wasn't happy with the job I had done, it hit me. It's time. Tough. I mean, again, he did the best that he could. Um, and especially after the year that Winnipeg had, being named one of the finalists for the Jack Adams Award, to be bounced in the first round like that. Um, just tough way to go out. But you know what? At the end of the day, um, Rick Bowness is a Hall of Fame coach. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Um, and again, stick taps for for Bones. And I know him and his family, his wife had gone through some medical stuff. Um, and obviously I'm not going to get into that at all, but just wishing Rick, Rick, his family, his wife, all the health and happiness and retirement. Just a legend of the game retiring. So again, stick taps to Bones. Um, and yeah, like I said, that kind of wraps up for today, Monday's kind of bit. I did mention that, once I end this recording, I'm gonna do a recap and kind of combine the two, at the end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. Um, and yeah, stay tuned for the end of the episode, and thank you guys for tuning in.